if anyone ever experienced a day in the life of me, I think they would be absolutely shocked by the signs of synchronicities, messages from spirit, and the connection I have to them. I think it would just blow their mind, to be totally honest. Um, I share a lot. I show the cards as I do a lot of the time. I don't always, because the reality is I do it to try to open people's minds so they can get the connection too for themselves. Um, but I'm not interested in validating anything to anyone. So, like in future, for instance, let's say I manage to help a lot of people, and then the odd person says, "Well, I don't believe." It's like, well, that doesn't change my journey, whether you believe or not. I think you're adding too much weight um, to your opinion that you don't believe it. It's like that doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't change a damn thing. Because some people do that. They try to be so negative, like they're having an influence on something. It's like, that's not influencing me at all. Um, so the previous video, I found, well, I wasn't intending to. I just started getting curious at different things, and I realized that I have an important soul contract right now that I need to fulfill. And I talk about that with these soul contracts. It's really important you fulfill these soul contracts so you can go on to. It's like these are like chapters of your journey, like stages. If you don't, if you don't pass the soul, that soul contract, it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating until you pass it. Now you can cancel the contract, but you have to do it in another life. So that's the trouble. I don't know if all soul contracts can be cancelled either, though. So I figured out that one of my soul contracts is a union with someone I consider very special. I thought the time had passed with that because it's been too long. I am getting a bit fed up waiting, in all honesty, but I said in the other video, if I could pick anyone on the planet, I would pick them. And that's, through my cards, Spirit was still saying, that's your person. I've got the Empress card. Then I asked, is that my current active soul contract right now, though? Because obviously I recognize that there's stages here. That may be the next one. But is it this one? Like, which one is it this at the minute? Because I'm still working on my next book. Like, if you understand it the way I understand it, is certain things happen and it's a sequence of events. So if you put it in perspective this way, is it that my next book is important and then that is the catalyst for the other person to then, now they're allowed, now universe brings us together. So that happened, then that happened, then this happens. Or does the relationship potentially come in? Then the book release, what is the sequence of events? So I've always had signs that the relationship is really important as part of the journey, because it's not just about the love of the relationship, potentially power couple. There'll be things we do together that go beyond just the relationship as well. So I just thought, okay, maybe that's the next thing, and it wasn't. And then I asked about the book, and it wasn't. I don't want to like repeat the whole video of the previous one, but it turned out my psychic development was my current soul contract, and that's because I asked the question. So I instinctively know things, and then I'll ask to verify it. And that's literally what it was. So just now, I had a little bit of a thinking deep. And a lot of time I think when we think, it's not always us. It's sometimes we're given golden nuggets. So I just thought to myself, and I thought, that relationship's going to be huge when it comes together. Like, I am a source of light. I've had mediums say that to me. You're like a lighthouse. You'll guide people. So people will be attracted to you for healing. So you're like the light in the dark. And that's a beautiful way to say it, like a lighthouse. I also recognize the person who I consider incredible. They're also a source of light. I'm not going to share their experiences because I know a lot about their experiences. And I know they get targeted. So there are entities. So we remove ourselves from the 3D world. There are entities on the unseen side. I get targeted too. And I know they do. So I just thought about it, and I thought, psychic development before the relationship. Maybe the focus within that psychic development is to really enhance my protection. Because together, I think we're going to be really, really, though you're helping a lot of people, will also be of significance to the other side that want to disrupt us. Whether that's in the 3D or whether it is on the other side, but it's like you need to be doing better, improving. So I just asked Spirit, I said, the current soul contract of the psychic development, is the focus of that to enhance my protection? And I got the King of Pentacles. So I got it. I got it. I got it. I knew it. And then on the back of the deck, it was the strength. I don't know if that's the back of the deck now, whether it just fell out. But either way, those are the two cards: strength and King of Pentacles. And I was like, well, that makes sense. If you just look at it, we need your strength. We need to be able to protect ourselves. So we've got to be strong enough to be doing so. Because you're literally going to be of positive influence. You can be grounded and stable for other people. But of course, it makes us targets. So anyway, I'm not going to keep sharing videos like this because it's really personal to my journey and it does leave me vulnerable. It'd be really naive of me to share every little aspect when I need to take it serious, my protections and things. So I'm not sharing the whole journey here. People will have to figure things out for themselves. And I think that's just as important. So if someone goes on a spiritual journey and they start to figure out they can tap into psychic abilities too, whatever that is, whatever form that is, I prefer to explore for myself to an extent. I get mentors along the way, people that help me, that'd be a positive influence. But then a lot of the time I start figuring things out for myself and I find what works for me. And I think that's what everybody should be doing. So we can learn a little bit and then I think put it into practice and figure out how you can connect to your guides, and that's what that's what I'm doing. And like I say, I don't want to share everything because I don't need to. It's like I'm not here to others to just mirror precisely my journey. People don't need to see how deep my connection to spirit is. They don't need to see every nuance because I'm not looking to validate. So I'm not here to flaunt above anyone or anything. It's like I know the connection I have. I know what they expect of me. And I'm learning the processes as well and where I am currently on my journey. So I know all this. This year I expect big changes to happen. I expect to pass this spiritual contract. Then the book will come out. Then hopefully the relationship starts coming in. You never know where that develops, and then there should be career opportunities. And I get an awful lot of signs with this. And I kid you not, over the past week, I've had the letter of the person, I would say between 50 and 100 times on TikTok alone. It says this person's thinking about you. This is your soulmate, blah, blah, blah. Always that letter, that letter, that letter, that letter. It's actually crazy. Sometimes there's the odd other one where it says someone's thinking of you. But the thing is, I don't know. You don't know every single person who's thinking about you, That's a weird one. Look, 222 on the time there. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's changed to 223 now, but that was 222. It's gone backwards. But I get that a lot, synchronicities and all sorts of stuff, I just thought I'd share that. But yeah, I'm not going to leave myself vulnerable by oversharing. I think that's a really important thing for me to learn. But I was just so excited about it that I just thought I'd share it with people for others to learn to understand what they need to be doing in a given moment. Because if you can figure out what your soul contracts are, then it really streamlines every aspect of your life, doesn't it? Even if you know, like roughly this year, for instance, if you know what's coming this year, maybe you don't know the order. If you know the order, then you know what to focus on. Otherwise, you're fighting a losing battle. You're literally putting all your time and energy into one thing when you needed to pass the other thing first. So it's like do. But yeah, it's interesting. In that regard, I'm blessed. But I built this connection to my guides, but I was always supposed to tap into it anyway. Yeah, hopefully other people manage to have similar experiences. Again, this is my journey, so I don't, I can only share my journey. I can't say everybody has the similar abilities or they'll have the same connection. I don't know because I don't live through anybody else. But yeah, that was quite insightful. So I've got a lot of work to do now over the next month or so because I've got to really start to focus now. If that's a soul contract, it's a serious soul contract. It's not like a little thing here. This is a lot. I already know how to do my protection, but I guess Spirit wants me to be more what do you call it? Like continuity. They want me to. They're going to want to make it so it's reliable. And there'll be other little nuances. I'm sure I'm going to learn some things. I'll meditate, see what visions come to me because I get that. When I really focus, I just let it go. You have to release yourself, of course, and I'll get all sorts. It's quite beautiful. So I know what I need to do, and then at the same time, we'll be focusing on this next spiritual book, and then we'll just see where the rest of the year starts taking me. I get signs that some people are jealous. I never understand it because I always think of what. But then I guess if you don't know what you're doing with your life, and you can see that I'm always structured and I know what I'm doing, and whether anyone believes I'm guided or not guided, it's like, let's say I am, which I know I am. Um, that sort of gives me an advantage, I guess. So I'm not wasting my life. But again, if you follow the trail of my books, you'll get an idea and a perspective anyway, won't you? So it's up to people to learn and develop. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that just because I just uncovered it myself and I thought that's really useful.